Welcome to this episode of Toronto Blue Jays Update. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop your opinion in the comments, because we need to talk about what the Yankees just did and whether they absolutely got fleeced in the process. So the Yankees finally made their big splash this offseason, except it's not really a splash when you're just keeping a guy you already had. Cody Bellinger is staying in pinstripes, and while you've got to give them some credit for locking him down, let's be real about what just happened here. They handed out 5 years and $162 million to keep Bellinger. That's $32 million per year. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. The contract is structured so he gets $85 million in the first 2 years before he can opt out. Do the math on that. $42 million per year for Cody Bellinger. The same Cody Bellinger who was literally given away by the Dodgers for nothing just a couple years ago because he'd become that bad. Let me take you back for a second. In 2019, Bellinger looked like he was going to be the next generational superstar. He was putting up MVP numbers, mashing nearly 50 home runs, and looked unstoppable. People were comparing his trajectory to Bryce Harper. Then everything fell apart. In 2020, he struggled, but you could maybe write that off because everyone was weird that year. Then 2021 hits, and he becomes the worst hitter in baseball. Not just bad, the absolute worst. He missed half the season with injuries, but still managed to get the game-winning hit against the Giants in the playoffs because apparently he could only remember how to play baseball when it mattered most. Then 2022 comes around, he plays almost every game, and he's still terrible. In his first 3 seasons, he hit 111 home runs. In the 6 seasons since his MVP year, he's hit 114 total. It's taken him twice as long to hit basically the same number. Something was definitely going on before 2020, whether it was juiced balls or whatever, but the production completely disappeared. The Dodgers dumped him because he had zero value. His own mother probably wasn't returning his calls. Now, to Bellinger's credit, he did bounce back somewhat with the Cubs. He wasn't the 2019 MVP version, but he was significantly better than those disaster Dodgers years. Good enough, apparently, for the Yankees to throw this absolutely massive contract at him. And honestly, good for Bellinger. Seriously, respect to him and Scott Boras for getting this deal done because they absolutely fleeced the Yankees. Boras does it again, squeezing every last possible dollar out of a team. That's why he's the best agent in baseball, whether you love him or hate him. But let's zoom out and look at what the Yankees' offseason has actually been. They're basically doing what the Phillies did, just running it back with what they already had. The Phillies kept Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto, though they lost Ranger Suarez to the Red Sox. The Yankees kept Bellinger, but lost Devin Williams and Luke Weaver to the Mets. Speaking of the Mets, they have a serious Yankees fetish. Juan Soto, Clay Holmes last year, now Williams and Weaver. Steve Cohen is just picking off Yankees players left and right, basically saying, thanks for developing them, we'll take it from here. The thing is, standing pat isn't necessarily terrible for the Yankees. They're not the Rockies refusing to make changes when they're awful. The Yankees won 94 games last season. They were tied for the division at one point and breathing down the Blue Jays' necks that final week. If Toronto slipped up even once, the division would have gone to New York. Of course, in the playoffs, the Jays absolutely destroyed them. Showed the Yankees who Daddy was. Pretty sure Vladdy Jr. had some choice words about that, too. The Yankees' real problem isn't the regular season, it's October. They're basically the American League version of the Phillies in that regard. The Phillies last won a World Series in 2008, the Yankees in 2009 when they beat the Phillies. Since then, both franchises have been playoff chokers. The difference is the Yankees actually make the playoffs consistently, while the Phillies had that massive drought of over 10 years without even getting there. But once the Yankees arrive in October, they get destroyed by Houston or whoever in their division decides it's their turn. They apparently all have to agree whose turn it is each year. In 2024, nobody agreed, so the Dodgers took them out. Last year, it was Toronto's turn, and the Jays made sure everyone knew it. So should the Yankees even be doing more right now? Their issue is playoffs, not regular season. They already have a great rotation. Garrett Cole is coming back, and he wasn't even there last year when they won those 94 games. The bullpen has question marks, but that's always a revolving door that can be addressed at the trade deadline. With what they have currently, they should be competitive. The Bellinger overpay is rough, though. People love ripping Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner, and maybe they deserve some blame. I'm not a Yankees fan, so I don't know the full story. But realistically, An owner and front office's job is getting the team to the playoffs. Once October starts, they can't do anything. The playoffs become a complete crapshoot. By that measure, the Yankees brass has done their job pretty well for 15 years. Nobody's calling the Mariners front office idiots, even though they've only made the playoffs twice in like the last 100 years. Everyone actually calls them geniuses. I get it, though. This is New York. It's World Series or bust. But at what point do you stop blaming management and start blaming the players? Even Aaron Boone catches endless heat, but was he the one getting destroyed by the Blue Jays lineup? No, that was the pitchers on the field. The players are the ones disappearing every October. So yeah, keeping Bellinger helps for now. But is he $42 million per year good? Bellinger and Boras got exactly what they wanted. They won this negotiation while the Yankees had to massively overpay to keep what they already had. Time will tell if it's worth it. Maybe it genuinely will be and we'll all look foolish, but right now it looks like Boras worked his magic again and the Yankees got taken for a ride. That's the situation in New York. They're running it back, hoping this time October goes differently. We'll see if that Bellinger money was well spent or if they just handed out one of the worst contracts of the offseason. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are the Yankees making the right moves or did they panic and overpay? Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.